Welcome to Successfully Simple, the creative entrepreneur's guide to working less and living more. I'm your host, Erin Flynn, and this season on the show, we're tapping into the brainpower of multiple experts per episode, getting their take on various topics. You're going to love it. Let's dive in. Hey there, Erin here, and today I wanted to cut through all of the bad business advice that we see out there on the internet and get straight to the good stuff. So I asked our guest experts what their best advice is for someone running a business right now. So if you are running a business, thinking about running a business, or have been running a business for a while, you definitely want to be tuning in to today's episode. Let's go ahead, dive straight in and hear what they have to say.
Hi, this is Caitlin Hamilton, and I'm an OBM and marketing strategist. The best piece of advice that I can give you in terms of running an online business would be to hire support in your business. So whether that is a mentor or a coach, which I highly recommend, really you have that experience from somebody that's been there before, that is successful, that's walked through some of the challenges you're currently walking through, or is, experiencing or has experienced something similar. Or in terms of support, you can hire a team. I have a wonderful team under me. Every successful entrepreneur I know has a team. You have to get out of that mindset of doing it all alone. And sometimes you have to invest before you're ready. And that goes all across the board between coaching support and hiring support in your business. And that's really because that allows you to feel supported, allows you to stay in your zone of genius, allows you to be just creative and create space to better serve your clients, whoever they are. And I think that without support in your business, it oftentimes leads to lack of prioritization and disorganization. And you can kind of let your mindset go and let your mindset get the best of you. Whereas if you have like a coach or a mentor, they can kind of bring you back, keep you focused, and you have a team that can support you in staying organized and on top of those things that you need to get done. Those are critical to me in terms of having and seeing success in my business. And it really is what propelled me forward in terms of growth within my own business from both a clientele standpoint as well as an income standpoint. So I highly recommend hiring that support in your business. And you can do so, again, in any way that makes sense to you. I really recommend kind of looking at, as you're hiring out support, what you don't like doing in your business the most, what takes the most time, what is not in your zone of genius, and finding somebody that specializes in that in a niche way that you can pass off that work to somebody else. The other thing that you can do is also hire a generalist virtual assistant. They can help you with a number of tasks of different kinds. Maybe it's graphics, social scheduling, content organization, scheduling for other clients, whatever it may be in your business that you need support around, and take off some of that workload from you to, again, give you more time and space in your business. So if you are interested in staying connected with me, you can follow me on Instagram at Caitlin, Katelyn, Hamilton, or you can go to my website at www.caitlinehamilton.com.
This is Megan from meganmins.com, and I am a life and business coach for online business owners who are looking to grow and run their scalable and sustainable business in a way that's actually enjoyable. And when it comes to running an online business today, I think the single best advice I could give to anyone, regardless of what stage you are at, is to take imperfect, fast action. I am a recovering perfectionist, and I absolutely did the opposite for many years in my business. I took slow, perfect action. And that really, really delayed me. It also made me get really caught up in overanalyzation, spending way too much time getting stuff done, slow progress, hypercritical of my own self, feeling like I was never good enough. And I could go on and on, but ultimately it wasn't a good way to approach my business. And I run into a lot of clients who are actually still running their business with that perfectionist attitude, even if they don't view themselves as perfectionists. They often say things like, I can't launch that new course until X, Y, and Z, until all the curriculum is done, until I have more experience, until I ... And that is how you know you are not taking fast and perfect action. I love getting to encourage my clients to go faster than they initially thought they could. And let's see what we can learn. Because the truth is that even if you try to be perfect, whenever you do launch that thing, whenever you do finally start that YouTube channel, the act of doing is where you learn so much. The act of taking a client through a process is where you refine the process, not by thinking about it. And I really want you to start taking fast, imperfect action so that you can start to learn the lessons you need to learn sooner and not to get trapped in slowing yourself down and waiting to learn those lessons, months or potentially years down the line. So fast and perfect action can mean starting to sell your new offer before the curriculum is done. It can mean launching something without having a perfect sales page. It can mean doing a recording like this, the way that I am, where I know I'm not speaking completely perfectly, or I may need to take a breath and I don't go back and re-record. And I do the same thing for my weekly live show, the Productive Life podcast. I do it live because it helps me show up imperfectly and not overanalyze compared to when I do pre-recorded content. So it can look a lot of different ways at a lot of different times, but regardless, I would love for you to experiment, if you're not ready for it yet to do it fully, but at least experiment with fast, imperfect action in one area of your business. So is there one project you've been wanting to do, like launching a podcast or starting a YouTube channel or creating a new service or offer? You've been waiting to do it for some reason. I would love for you to pick that one project and do it fast. I launched my podcast in less than 30 days with this same experimental approach. And it was a life changer for me by being able to go through that and let go of all of the best strategies and not worry about doing everything perfectly and just do what I could and the time I allotted and get launched. It changed my life and business forever. So I would love for you to pick one project or one area of your business, commit to fast, imperfect action, and see what's possible for you. I would love to see you in our free Facebook community, the Empowered Entrepreneurs Community. So you can go to meganmins.com/community and join our free Facebook group. I do weekly live shows in there, and we are there to support you in your mission to not only grow a business, but also to take imperfect action. Hopefully I see you there.
Hey everybody, this is Quinn Tempest. I help female founders create more purpose and profit through their businesses and their entire lives. And today I want to share with you my best advice for someone running an online business today, which is probably you. And here it is. I am gesticulating. You can't see me, but my hands are up. And this is what I'm saying. Do not do it alone. Ask for help. Get support. Join a community. Don't be afraid to get help. I wish I knew this sooner. For the longest time, I almost wore doing it alone like a badge of honor. I thought, I don't need anyone. I can figure this out on my own. Why go and pay someone to give me their expert advice and make things easier for myself? But you know what? I crashed and burned so many times doing that. I burned out numerous times. I learned my lesson and then I'd unlearn it and then I'd have to relearn it again, that I can't do everything alone. The best way that I learned this was I was at a pivot point a couple of years ago in my business. I knew that I wanted to start shifting away from my business model at the time, which was 100% services, web design, branding, and strategy. And I wanted to do more speaking. I was already speaking out on stages. I loved it. I wanted to teach more online. And I also wanted to create some kind of community. I didn't know what that was at the time, but I knew that if I tried to muscle it out and figure it out all on my own, it could take me years. And so what I did was I started looking for what I needed. And to be honest, I didn't know what I needed. This is really all I knew. I needed someone that could take my ideas and make sense of it. That's really it. I didn't know if that was a business coach. I didn't know what the term was. I needed to type into Google to figure out. So really what I did was I started looking on Facebook groups. I started asking people. I was like, what is the person I need to help me do this? And randomly, I was on a website of a woman whose course I took, and I just really loved her approach. I felt safe and comfortable in it. I liked it. And so I found that she had designed a website for someone who she called herself a community strategist. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting. And she happened to be the person that helped the course teacher that I was taking the course from create that whole experience, which I obviously loved. And so I went to this woman's website. Her name's Sophie. I don't know if she's listening to this, but hi, Sophie. I went to her website and I immediately knew this is the woman I need. She touched on everything that I needed in this idea that I have: community, education, thought leadership. And she would help me pull together that strategy. So I contacted her. We went back and forth for a little bit, and I ended up signing a contract, the most I ever spent on my business since and before. And it was the best decision I ever made because I felt seen. I felt heard. I had someone to listen to my ideas, make sense of them, and then kind of put them through a little machine in her brain to come out on the other side with something even better. And that was something that was so hard for me for so long, to trust that this even was possible. And you know what? I went into her thinking, oh, I want to create like an Instagram course. Can you help me with that? I think there's going to be a community portion in it. And after 90 days, I still remember after our last working session we got to do, went up to Seattle, we kind of did this session. I left there and it was very poetic. I was in an Uber driving to the airport and snow started falling. And I thought to myself, I just sketched out the next 5 to 10 years of my business, all from investing in support and investing in someone that would hear me and listen to me. What started as an Instagram course did not end up that way. I ended up being so much more, and something that I'm truly, truly excited about. So really, that's my biggest advice is reach out. Whatever stage you're in, reach out. It doesn't have to be a paid investment at first if you can't handle that, but get support. Talk to people who understand you, because the online business world can be lonely. Like, I'm guessing you don't know many people like you in your local vicinity. I don't. So reach out online, be heard, connect with people like you. I promise you won't regret it. I've got quite a few resources on my website with advice and resources about running an online business. So head over there. I am at quintempest.com. There's even a quiz you can take to uncover your purpose. So head there, quintempest.com, and explore what I've got for you.
Hey, you guys, I'm Alicia Robertson, founder of livingoverexisting.com. And my biggest piece of advice that I could give online business owners is to put your blinders on. And when I say put your blinders on, I mean focus on your work. Stop peeking over into what your favorite entrepreneur is doing or what your favorite entrepreneur is offering and how they're offering it or the type of content that they're creating. Yes, it's okay to look to these people for inspiration. Yes, it's great for motivating yourself, but at some point you have to stop consuming so much information or consuming so much of what everyone else is doing, because it's going to eventually have you looking at your own work as if it's not good enough, or as if it's not big enough or impactful enough or making a big enough difference. And you don't want that to happen. If you don't have a large audience, or if you don't have all of these resources that you can use in your business, that doesn't make it any less impactful, or it doesn't even say that you can't be any less successful as those other people. But the only way that you can really concentrate on your own work and make sure that you're pouring all of your time into what you are doing and what you are creating is to put your blinders on. I did not put my blinders on for a very long time in my business. And because of that, I fell really hard for the hustle culture. I ended up burning out. And also, I was essentially building a business around someone else's idea of success because I saw a particular business model working for everyone else. I saw a particular marketing strategy working for everyone else. And I really struggled to ignore that because they were so successful and I wanted to be so successful. And it was hard for me to ignore that. So I kept trying doing what they were doing. And I ended up just being really burnt out and completely over the business that I was building because it wasn't what I really wanted. So once I was able to put my blinders on and fully focus on the work that I was doing and why I wanted to do it, I felt so much more free. Marketing became easier. The day-to-day tasks became easier. Money began to flow easier. So my biggest takeaway for you, my biggest piece of advice for you is to put your blinders on. Yes, I know these other people, these other resources are amazing for motivation and to, really get you up and going. But at some point, you do have to put your blinders on and focus on your own work so that you can be fully present in the work that you're doing and you can be fully present in your own growth. I hope that was helpful. If you guys would like to chat more about this, you could find me on Instagram at @thealicianicole, or you can head over to livingoverexisting.com to learn more about me and what I do.
Hi, I'm Jordan Gill from System Saved Me. The best advice that I can give someone running an online business is to connect with individuals who, again, can either be colleagues, collaborators, because there's something about other people sharing about you or promoting your stuff that gives you more trust leverage than you talking about yourself or, doing things that are a little bit more automated. And not that you can't get away with automations right away, like Facebook ads or Pinterest ads. However, I have really put a ton of focus on connections and collaborations. And for me to be able to build the types of marketing strategies that I've been able to, really thoroughly rooted in organic opportunities, is because of the relationships that I have. People trust me and I trust them. And I've found it to be the most valuable part of my business. And if I didn't have those relationships, if I didn't nurture them and cultivate them, then business would be pretty lonely and it'd be a lot harder to do things that I want to do in business. So I would say, I've honestly found a lot of my closest friends in free Facebook groups. I have found them at live or virtual events. I have connected with them. I was on their podcast once. And instead of just being like, all right, I was on their podcast, bye, why not actually find more commonalities and find ways to connect and collaborate? And I say that all the time. But I think that people really miss out on a lot of opportunities because they basically one and done everybody on the internet. And I'm always looking to re-engage, nurture, and support other business owners. And I think that shows in the amount of collaborations that we do in our business and that I'm promoting, etc. So that would be my best advice for somebody. And if you want to connect or talk or find more resources, you can go to systemsaveme.com or find me on Instagram to DM at systemsaveme.
Hey, it's Erin again, and I have loved hearing all of this advice from our experts, but now we want to hear from you. So head over to Successfully Simple on Instagram and let us know what your best business advice is. We would love to hear from you and learn from you. I'll see you over on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, any links mentioned in this episode will be included in the show notes at successfullysimple.com. Find us at Successfully Simple on Instagram and tell us what you think on this topic. And if you really loved this episode, please take 2 minutes to leave us a review. It really helps us out and it helps others find the show. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.